going on, guys? Happy Monday. Hopefully, y'all had a good weekend. You had a nice long holiday weekend. And you still have all your appendages. Hopefully, you got to spend time with friends and family. Maybe have some good food, maybe some good drinks, and got to blow some shit up the American way. Welcome to Men Caring for Men. I'm your host, Glick. I'm joined, as always, by Jaravishi.
Hey, yo.
And Connor. He still has no legs for a couple more weeks, but where fingers are crossed, in a couple weeks, he'll have new legs.
Hate to say
And
it,
if you're
it
not
ain't gonna
already,
happen.
go ahead and check out the network. We are on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We also do shows live all the time here, pretty much all week long. There's something going on here on the network, and you can find them on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. You can watch the live shows. You can come and jump in the comments and be a part of the show and hang out with us and interact. We do enjoy that. And if you can't join the live show, don't worry, because we got you covered. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to podcasts at, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, wherever. Just Google Nonsensical Network, and you'll find all the shows. Or you can just go and type in Men Caring for Men, and you'll find that. And along with that, you're going to find all the shows. Or you can go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network, and you're going to find everything right there. Mondays, we kick off with Men Caring for Men, Men's Mental Health Show. Tuesday is Jeff's Garage. If it's in a garage, it's got a motor, they're going to talk about it. Wednesdays is What the Fuck News. If it's in the news and it makes us say what the fuck, we're probably going to talk about it. And hopefully it's going to make you say what the fuck as well. Thursday, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, is an empty spot. Talking Shit is no longer with us. They chose to leave the network, which is fine. Hopefully they continue to do their thing and whatnot, but they are no longer here. We'll still support them and whatnot, but they're no longer here with us on the lineup. For the time being, Fridays is Glick's House of Music. That's me hanging out with musicians, talking about their career, talking about them, getting to know them a little bit better, and introducing you guys to someone and something you may never heard or you may not have heard yet. I say for the meantime because it might be moving days. Saturdays is the flagship, this foundation of the network. It is Nonsensical Nonsense with a twist. We call it the Open Door Challenge. We drop the link in the chat, and we encourage anybody and everybody to come up and hang out with us and be on the show. All we ask is that you turn your camera on and put your penis away. It's not too much to ask at the end of the day. We do have a couple shows in the works that will be filling days and times. And as we know more about them, you guys will know more about them. But we do have some new stuff in the works. And probably going to be some exciting stuff, maybe some new faces down the road as well. So hang tight and just give us a follow, give us a listen. And if you be so kind, give us a share. We greatly appreciate your support and everybody who listens and watches and engages in the show when we're live. Speaking of which, shout out to the Chatters Box. Okay, go fuck himself.
Jesus.
What up, Wally? Happy Monday, man. What's going on, brother? Cameron, you can go to hell.
Cameron just comes out with the fucking kill shot tonight.
Yeah, what's going on, Cameron? Happy belated birthday. Cameron's birthday was Sunday. No, wait. Yes, yesterday.
Welcome to 30, fucker.
Yeah, yesterday. I think I don't know. My day. I'm still.
Yeah,
my days
I'm his
are all
friend,
screwed up.
but
Man.
yeah,
I have 4 days off.
Yeah.
I know it was on the 6th. I just can't remember what day the 6th was. I think that was Sunday. I think that was yesterday. My days are still all screwed up. But anywho,
yeah, that 1 year, that 1 year is gonna be fucking coming up, buddy. Don't you fucking worry. Hell's coming, buddy.
Saturday. It was a Saturday. Today's the 8th. Yeah, today's the 8th. It was Saturday. I don't know. Anyways, I told you happy birthday Saturday during the show, and I'll tell you happy birthday again tonight. So shut the fuck up. 30 is easy. I don't know, man.
Sure.
But anywho, like we always like to start out Monday nights, a little weekly bro check, we call it here, and check in on the guys and see how they're doing before we get into yeah, right. We're all fucking screwed up. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, we'll go ahead and man, I might regret this, but Jarvis, how you doing, man? What's been going on? You feeling good? You feeling better?
Pretty good, got done with my period that I had there on Wednesday, got my head screwed back on, right? God, there's a few other things that, happened, but no, I'm doing good, and Mark had messaged me this morning telling me about the news, and I was like, bro, no matter what, I'll support you. It for all the people that are gonna ask questions, it was mutual split. We definitely want them
I
to
told him we were going
succeed.
to blackball him in the podcast community.
Yeah, because
No, we're just gonna shit on them like while we're on our show, and then whenever their show comes on, we'll make sure our show comes on at the same time, and then we'll still secretly watch their show.
okay, calm down, Fireman Rich. We already got one person that does that to us. We don't need to do
That was
that.
the whole point. Thanks for explaining the joke, Jarvis. What would we do without you?
And in all honesty, we'll absolutely still support the guys.
Live fulfilling lives, Connor.
In all honesty, we'll absolutely still support the guys. I mean, there's no beef or no drama or anything like
No
that.
animosity whatsoever.
I think the biggest thing is and shout out to Brian, one of the co-hosts on Talking Shit. He got a huge promotion at work, man. So I'm super stoked for him, and I'm proud of him. He got a really good promotion, a big promotion for him. And unfortunately, with promotions, you work more hours and
make less
Get less pay.
I was about to say he makes $12 an hour less than he did before, but he got a promotion.
But he also works 35 hours more than he normally works in a week.
Yeah. But,
And he's got a lot longer drive. So, shout out to Brian. Hopefully, congratulations. Hopefully the new
Dick really ain't work for him. He doesn't really have to try for that.
Yeah.
Just remember, Brian, cradling the balls is still part of the job description, no matter if it's a promotion or not. The secretary still probably does it better than you do.
How do you think he got the promotion? He was the only one who knew how to do the job properly.
But yeah. But anyway,
we love you guys. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep
Jarvis, with everything that was going on, are you feeling better now that you've recovered from your man period? You doing a little bit better?
You're myriad.
I fucking hate you, but yeah, I'm doing better.
No, you don't.
No, as I said on Saturday, just a lot of shit came up. Still trying to get a new show out for everyone that keeps asking and, wanting to have their 10 cents put on the fucking show. Like, I need their 10 cents fucking.
Just hurry up already.
I know. It's not like I could have anything better to do in my life, but it's just like, hey, hurry up, get this new show out, Jarvis, so that the rest of us people can watch it and, downgrade it.
So that I can come on your show and flop my dick out in front of everybody.
Well, everyone would need to fucking telescope the size of fucking Uranus just to find it, but hey, whatever floats your boats, Connor.
I was about to say my anus is actually quite tight, and
sure.
Once I stopped hanging out with Glick, it tightened right back up.
Well, hey, buddy, you're still part of the network, so it better get loosened again.
Oh, Vichy, you took my spot, though. I don't do that.
That can always change, buddy. But no, everything is. Go ahead.
No, what were you gonna say, guys? Everything.
Now with everything, being in a little bit of a turmoil, a little bit of a flux, we hopefully will be able to get that new show out. Just have to make sure as I had talked with Glick, we got dot those I's and cross those lowercase J's, talked with the person, in charge of everything. They were bitching and moaning about, they got too much shit they got on their plate already. They said, Jarvis, we're just gonna put you at the bottom of the heap, and so
yeah, exactly.
But nothing outside of the norm.
Well, see, hey, Cameron, here's the thing. I still have 2 more people that give a shit about a show that doesn't exist than a show that you don't have. So, just saying there, buddy.
There's that.
Just remember, when you're 30, it doesn't get any better.
Speak for yourself.
Shut up, Connor.
Connor, you can only go up from here.
Exactly. Ha! Gotcha, bitch.
You know, I hate to tell
yeah,
you,
you'll-
Connor,
you'll-
no matter how much we tell you it gets better, it doesn't. Your legs are a good show of that.
What? No, dude. I'm glad you're feeling a little bit better. You know, I kind of got on you Saturday night and was
Oh, trust me, I know.
I'm fucking overthinking. Just do, man. Just fucking do. You know.
Just
Uh,
do it.
yeah.
God,
Just
you
do
should
it.
be such a great motivational speaker. Hey, you know, I didn't want to jump off the bridge. Just do it.
Shit or get off the pot, buddy. Jump or don't jump.
With a motivation like that, you're gonna end up living in a van down by the river.
Don't worry, Connor, you're heading there too, buddy.
So,
You're not gonna amount to jack squat.
Hey, that's what my guidance counselor told me in high school.
yeah, hopefully you are. Hopefully
Jokes
you
on
are
them.
feeling, a little bit better, and you know you're getting better day by day. I know it's kind of a pain in the ass, but and hopefully part of your stressor is now no longer going to be a stressor for you. You know,
We'll see how the week goes.
I know you stress a lot about a certain area of the network, so but it nice Cam. What about you up there? No Legs McGillicuddy? How you doing, man? How was your
It's
weekend?
been a fun and busy weekend. Parents came out on Wednesday, actually. And I got to spend a lot of time with them, which was nice because having been in El Paso and then moved to Vincennes and then moved down into Evansville, we've been here, there, and everywhere. And I think I've seen them twice in the last 2 years. So it was really good to get that. Where's Jarvis left?
He just ran out. He might have had to go pot.
Yeah,
He had to go change his man pawn out.
the Hershey squirts happen. We've all been there.
Jeff
But,
was there Saturday night.
my kid was there last night.
Jeff messaged me. I got bubble guts. I was like, awesome. Right in the middle of the show. But yeah, so anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine. So it was just nice to hang out with them and spend time and get good quality time with my parents who actually love me, which is kind of weird. At least for the people on this show, it's kind of weird.
What's it like to have parents who love you? My parents hate
I don't
me.
know.
No,
I don't know.
One of my parents is dead, but
It's pretty awesome. I'll be honest. I'm not even trying to be an asshole. It's pretty awesome.
I mean, hey, that's great. Leave it to Beaver over here. Yeah, not everybody had.
You can try to shame me for having a decent childhood. I have no problem with that.
I'm not shaming you at all. I'm happy for you, man. I'm glad that you. My parents, I'm a huge disappointment and a failure, and they can't stand me. So,
well, the cool thing is when your parents are assholes, it's kind of cool to be the disappointment when you don't live up to that. But no, it was an awesome weekend. We got my parents my dad, I should say, helped me out a lot with some projects around the house. My mom helped my wife clean up the house a little bit, organize some things and get things ready for my surgery coming up, and doing a lot of planning and getting things ready for that. So it was a really great weekend, just really busy. We were doing projects all weekend and going to my wife and I never eat out. And if we do, we DoorDash because we got 3 fucking kids. So why the fuck would I take them out in public? And every single night last week, my parents, let's go to dinner. I'm like, oh my God. First of all, expensive, but thankfully they have money, so they paid for it.
Yeah. When they're young, it is a bit of a hassle when you got 3 kids, as a guy who has 3 kids as well. And I think Cam can attest to, and Cam's kids, you and Cam have younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
it is hard to go out to dinner to a restaurant when you got younger kids. The only downside of when they get older and they start eating grown-up meals is it gets a lot more expensive.
Dude,
Especially
it's
if you have a
wild.
kid like mine especially if you have a kid like mine, my oldest, I'm speaking of, who has very expensive taste and always wants to order the most expensive thing off the menu.
See, that's not a problem for me. My problem right now is that my McDonald's bill has gone up by triple.
And you know what? And it's going to triple again when they get older and stop eating Happy Meals.
But here's Carson doesn't eat Happy Meals anymore because it doesn't. He'll come home and he'll continue to eat everything out of the pantry. Carson's 7, but I swear he hits a growth spurt every other month. And when he has when he hits these growth spurts, he'll eat everything in sight for like a week and a half, and he'll get kind of tubby. And then all of a sudden he gets skinny again, and he shoots up, and you're just like, oh fuck. But like back when it was just me and my wife, which was a very short amount of time, but back when it was just me and my wife. What?
Who are you talking about, Cameron?
Who we hog tying? But back when it was just me and my wife, like go to McDonald's and you spend $12 for 2 meals. And now I go to McDonald's and I spend $60.
Yeah, Chris has got
Carson's like, I want 2 double cheeseburgers, fries, and a drink. And then I gotta get 2 Happy Meals. And Bryson's like, I don't want a Happy Meal. I want regular nuggets. I want a 10-piece chicken nugget. And now you've got 4 full meals, and I will never financially recover from this.
Yeah, no, as I say, when the kids all were, now that the kids are all older and like we go to restaurants, none of them are really. Cash every once in a while still orders off the kids' menu when we go to a restaurant and whatnot, depending upon what's there. But, we go to McDonald's, and again, Cash is weird. He's like in that weird age, like he's 11. And most of the time he gets a regular meal, but there are times where he's like, I just want a Happy Meal. I'm not really that hungry.
Yeah.
But F McDonald's, right? But yeah, man, it's the joys of having multiple kids, man. And when you do go out to eat, and then
so true, Benji. So true.
So true.
Is that how that works? Is that how that works, Benji?
Idiot! Stupid! God!
Maybe God's trying to tell me something with me and my wife not getting pregnant. Don't do it.
I'm getting snipped.
Start a big garden. You guys do any? Did you guys do anything for 4th of July? You do like fireworks, cookouts, or anything like that?
Holy shit!
Do you have any tweakers?
Nope. I live in a democratic state. We're all like, oh, we can't have big fireworks because, scares people and poor people. So it's just like, okay. I heard like one fire off and I'm just like, America, this is what we've come to.
You and me live in 2 completely different areas because
I was going to say, they've been blowing shit up since the end of June and they're still blowing shit up.
Yeah,
as of last night here in Ohio.
Same
little,
here.
Little do we know that those are the supposed Russian nuclear rockets we're supposed to be afraid of. They get to their intended target, they're like about like that big and fucking. Ding.
Oh damn, that's kind of fucking dope.
Did
man,
you guys?
That sounds amazing, actually.
Did you guys see the TikToks where like someone had they had made a joke about Call of Duty and they're like when they're dropping fireworks, but instead they're the cruise missiles, and someone had shot a fucking firework, and I swear to God, the fucking thing looked like that big, planted right in front of a crowd and just went poof. And people are bitching. It's like, why would you fucking stand there?
Why would you stand there? You're shooting off fireworks.
We have a show called What the Fuck News that's dedicated to dumb people.
I'm gonna find that TikTok and I'll send that to you. Hey, Jeff, since you're not doing anything tonight, how about you find that TikTok, buddy?
Jeff, you want to slob on my knob tonight?
He's probably already found it and has it saved and sent it to me 14 times. No, that's cool. I mean, nice long. We all enjoy our well, those of us who have real jobs and have to go to work every day.
Okay.
uh, it's always nice getting these long weekends. Even if we didn't do much. Friday was Nikki's birthday, so
she turned 80.
I'm gonna let you have. I'm gonna let you.
I don't think she turned me.
Oh no! Now he's getting her. Now he's getting her. You're fucked. Yeah, no, you're getting your ass back in here, Connor. You get your ass right back in here, buddy.
No, you don't need to play PlayStation today. No.
There's no running away. Well, Glick ran away.
Ha nerd. Yeah. Yeah.
So, hey, Connor.
How dare you speak so negatively of your woman?
Oh, it's a good thing it's a men's mental health show because you're about to get dressed down.
Oh shit! Oh shit! No, you come back up here, you little fucking hide and go seek motherfucker. You come back here. No, you come back here. I can keep fucking doing this all night.
He can still hear you.
I know.
Even when he's down.
I swear to God.
80?
No, Connor, she's not your mother.
Says the man who falls out of the chair live on the show.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. What?
I said, says the man who falls out of the chair live on the show because you ain't got no damn legs.
That's okay.
80? Really?
I just assumed since Glick was around for the beginning of Earth, my assumption was you were somewhere between Earth and
He was the first
now.
cave woman that he hit over the head, but instead of
fucking
him hitting her
dinosaur?
over the head, it was the other way around.
I didn't hear what she said.
The dinosaurs, yes.
I figured you're somewhere between there. Glick said that he 10 years is the difference that he is allowed to in his brain. So
Just
Good
shut
thing,
up,
like
Connor.
2 years for the next 3 months.
I didn't hear what you said either. Good Lord.
Now his ears don't work either.
Speak
Lights
up.
don't work, and his ears don't work. And he's calling you old.
Never worked. Yeah, I felt like 80 was a good guesstimate.
Fuck off, Connor.
Wow, Nikki's very
Oh.
proficient in the art of sign language.
Yes, she's fluent in sign language. Yeah, so we celebrated her birthday Friday. She celebrated a little bit harder than anybody else, but
Oh, I bet she did.
Jello shots for everybody at the nursing
I'll
home.
just leave it at that. As she said from the living room. I don't want to talk about it.
We don't need to discuss it.
I fucking said happy birthday to you on Facebook, but did I get anything Saturday? No.
Nobody was.
Did you give everybody in the nursing home Jello shots?
She's gonna kill you one of these days, Connor.
We celebrated on pudding night.
You are just digging that hole deeper and deeper. She did celebrate a little too hard. And she did get, like I said Saturday night, she got the new tattoos, and my oldest daughter got her first tattoo. They got matching tattoos, or a matching tattoo. But she had fun. That's all that matters. She what she can remember, she had fun. But no, I mean, so yeah, it was outside of that, kind of a low-key weekend for me, for the most part. I don't even remember what the hell I did. Yesterday, I just sat around watching movies and playing Call of Duty all day. But other than that, So I know it's a little early, but
It's
I want
always
to take
early.
a little break, and when we come back, we'll get into the meat and potatoes, if you will, of the conversation tonight. The topic we're going to talk about society's negative impact on men's mental health, and like how it affects us, how it affects the stigma, and just society in general, pigeonholing and locking men into a. We've kind of touched base on it in the past. Jarvis is married, Connor is married, and I am engaged. Simple Jack. For the 27th time, I'm engaged, according to these.
It's
Hi,
shocking
number
that-
3.
it's
You're the
shocking
youngest
that,
one he's ever
I am
gone after.
married, and it's shocking that Connor's wife hasn't beaten him to a bloody pulp.
Yeah,
It's shocking she hasn't pushed me down the fucking stairs yet.
I will be married next October. So, yeah, next October. Shit.
You better figure that out.
Yeah. Or
Again,
she'll
much
be
like,
or you'll be looking for number 4 if you can.
well, much like Friday, you just tell me where I'm going and point in that direction, and I'll drive. So,
How'd you convince him to marry anybody? I said point. I pointed at the paper and said sign, and he's like, okay.
Okay. Go here, sign here, say yes. Okay. But anyways,
Click on his honeymoon. Fuck you, Connor. You made me sign the wrong deal, you bitch.
yeah.
Yeah, I do. Why?
Yeah. Anyways, I do want to take a break a little bit early so we can get into the topic of conversation. Hopefully these guys are prepared, especially one who brought it up, are somewhat prepared. But I didn't really have any song. I just found some songs. And I kept a couple that were on here, but I want to do Blacktop Mojo with their acoustic cover of Leonard Skinner's Tuesday Gone. Go ahead and check out Blacktop Mojo everywhere you stream music and on all social media. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
Train roll on down the line, won't you? Please take me far away. Now feel the wind blow outside my door, won't you? I'm leaving my woman on. Tuesday's gone with the wind. My baby's gone with the wind. Lordy. I don't know where I'm going. I just want to be left alone. Well, this train is, well, I'll try again. But I'm leaving my woman at home. Tuesday's gone with the wind. My baby's gone with the wind. Train roll on
Yes, sir. That was a great cover and a great acoustic cover of a badass Leonard Skinner song. I love that song. Welcome back to Men Caring for Men, everybody. Hopefully, you didn't mind our little banter we have at the beginning. We do that every show. It's good for the soul, as our good friends over at the Southern Outlaws band would say. It's good for the soul. You know, you got to get that out sometimes. If you're not already, go ahead and give us a follow. Check out the rest of the network. We are on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Shows are live throughout the week on YouTube, Twitch, X, and Facebook. You guys can join into the shows and get in the chatter's box and interact with us. And if you can't join us live, you can listen everywhere and anywhere you listen to podcasts at, all at the Nonsensical Network, or you can simply go down to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. You see it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. If you're watching us live, it'll be scrolling there all night long. Well, while we're live anyway. So give us a follow, give us a listen, and if you'd be so kind, give us a share. We'd greatly appreciate that. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the topic of tonight. Jarvis brought this up. Society's negative impact on men's mental health. Obviously, we all know society has there's a stigma on men's mental health. It's kind of looked down upon or you're considered weak or whatever. You know, if you appear vulnerable or you open up or you talk about the things that are bothering you and what's going on in your head. And like I said, you know, society, it's gonna impact, you know, men's mental health in a number of ways. Obviously, like I said, stigma. Men's mental health is often stigmatized and overlooked, which leads to where we are now, this quote unquote crisis of being men's mental health, which can lead men to feeling like we're isolated and ashamed for having feelings or showing weakness or showing vulnerability. The stigma can make it difficult as well for men to acknowledge their struggles and seek help. Obviously, I think the three of us here on this panel, we can all openly say that it was tough for us to reach out and get help. I know Connor and Jarvis, I know you guys are both actively in therapy. That's no big secret. I tried it. It's not my cup of tea. It's not for me, mainly because every therapist I went to, 2 or 3 sessions in, the next thing I know is like, oh, try this drug, try that drug, take this drug, take that drug. That's not for me. I don't want to go down that route. That's just a mental thing for me. I don't want prescription drugs to fix me. So I go other routes or other.
There's a new drug. There's a new drug that'll help you.
You know, this show being one. Before I go too much farther into anything else, as far as like, these are just a couple of examples of how society negatively impacts our mental health as men. Do you guys want to add anything to the stigma part of it? Is there anything you want to add thus far into the conversation?
Anything you want to add, Connor?
No, I think Glick kind of hit it as much on the head as he really can. I think that but I do think that it's not so much being overlooked anymore, but I think that it's played as more of a tagline than it is actually caring for men and actually trying to break the stigma. I think that people have started to notice the negative effects that are coming out of the original stigma of men and that strength and things like that. But I think that it's being used now as a tagline. Oh, you can be open and vulnerable with me, but that stigma is still there. So as soon as you open up, things change. And I think that businesses use it as a tagline. I think that they don't actually care as much as they do, and that negatively impacts us as we go along. I think other than that, Glick hit the nail on the head.
What about you, Jaravishi?
Well, I agree with both you. You know, it is hard.
Yeah, it is.
Shut up. uh, when you put injured on that box for a job, you know, that kind of puts you in there. But at the same time, when you put not only that, but you put mental health, it's like red flags go up in that boss's or that CEO's mind. And that's the thing that's always got me is like Connor said, you know, it's kind of like a tagline. Like, you know, we'll hire people with mental health issues or disabilities. But will you? Or are you just hiring the ones that you're like, "Oh, hey, you know, this person looks normal." And that's the thing. You can still be normal and still deal with this shit, but at the end of the day, it's all about when you say you're like, "Hey, I'm gonna hire." We're all this new company slogan. Let's hire. I know, you know, a lot of companies nowadays they want to hire troops that are just coming back. They want to support the troops. Do that. You know, don't only do that, but also support people when they have mental health issues the same way that you would support that person that you deem normal or one that doesn't have any of those issues or isn't a soldier. Help them out, you know, stand by what you say.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
same thing with the whole race issue thing where, you know, they'll hire minorities and all that. Stand by what you say. Don't just use it as a byline or a tagline so that, you know, you get that extra little bit of government money like, oh, hey, they're helping out the people with mental issues or helping out the troops. Let's give them some tax exempts, you know.
no, exactly. And I gotta agree with. I've said this before. I gotta agree with Connor and both you. Not only creating that stigma and you know, like Connor said, it's a tagline. You know, you piggybanked. Piggybanked onto that. It's also a way to gain clout, to gain followers. It's a look at me, give me attention. You see it all over social media and TikTok. Somebody, you know, and I'm not one to say whether they are or not dealing with mental health issues or anything like that. But when you use that as a way to gain fame, or
Yeah.
and the complete opposite of it, you already have all this fame and money, and then you decide that, you know, your true colors start to show that you're a fucking scumbag human being, and then you go, "Oh, I have depression and anxiety, and that's why I do the things that I do." That doesn't help the stigma that there's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with us or anybody else who actually does suffer from some form of mental health, a mental illness, you know, whether it be depression or anxiety or PTSD or whatever the case may be. But that I'm going to pretend like I have mental health issues to gain clout and to gain fame and popularity hinders thus. There's a lot wrong. That hinders us who are actually going through it. It causes us to go back inside of our shells or go back under those rocks because some assholes on TikTok making a mockery of something that I deal with and I live with every fucking day of my life, or that you deal with, or somebody who doesn't and they just want attention. I've seen that, and I've actually called a couple guys out that I've known most of my life, and I've called them out for it. I'm like, really? You ain't never had no mental health issues at all, and then all of a sudden, you know, you start fucking up in life, and now it's all because this is why. Like, you want people to feel sorry for you, and that adds to that stigma of, you know, men's mental health. And
Well, you know, it's not just the ones that turn out to be the assholes. It's also the ones that are turning out to be predators too. And when they're found out that they're preying on children and young people and all that, they turn around with that, well, I have mental health issues and all that shit. And that's the one that always gets me. It's like, so you're saying your predatory behavior is because of, you know, a mental health issue. Well, some people may believe that, but I'm calling bullshit on that. You know, or when these people are found out, if the whole, well, I have mental health issues doesn't work out, then it's the, well, I need to step back and work on myself. as if to say like, hey, you know, this is gonna blow over. I don't have to worry about this because, you know, people will believe me once it blows over, they'll lose interest. And that's the biggest thing that pisses me off about it.
Yeah, no, you know, for people who are being genuine and being sincere, you know, and I'll say like we are, you know, I generally want to do something to help men's mental health and be a voice, you know, for men's mental health, or, you know, just something, you know, to be able to help. But it makes it that much harder when we're coming on here, and yeah, we do horse around from time to time, and we joke around and have, you know,
Well, you need to. You need
uh,
to.
yeah, but you know, we put the disclaimer out there. We're not experts in it by no means. We're just talking about what we've gone through and dealt with and everything else, and adding our opinions on it. So, you know, but it makes it that much harder for us to do a show like this, because you do have that stigma that's already there. But then you factor in that everybody wants to be famous. Everybody wants to be popular. You add that in, and then they use mental health as a crutch, and it makes it that much harder for guys who are actually going through this stuff to want to come out and open up, and because you're almost afraid of, oh, you know, oh man, I really like this YouTuber. He does a really good job on men's mental health, and then you find out he's just a fucking scumbag, and it's like, all right, well, you know, now I'm just going to go back into my hole and be quiet, because I don't want to look like this jackass, you know.
It's
Or I
the
feel,
first thing I thought when I first saw Glick on this. No,
yeah,
I'll get
or you're gonna feel like you're, even though you're trying to sincerely do something and be a part of the solution, you automatically feel like you're lumped into that category of, well, look at this asshole, he's jumping on a bandwagon just to be famous or be popular. This is a real thing for me. This is extremely beneficial for me personally, to be able to come on here and talk to you guys. Even some nights when we do horse around a lot, it's still beneficial for my mental state. So,
Well, like, you know, we have talked about that before on the show, you know. Not all the time do we talk about, you know, the depressing stuff on the show. We do talk about, you know, the joys of also what's going on in our lives. And I think that's the thing, people, as soon as they, and not calling people out, but I bet you 10 to 1 when you see men caring for men, I bet half of the people that are watching or not watching, as soon as you click on it, you automatically think, oh, they're going to talk about all the negative parts of mental health. No, we've talked about the positives. We talked about, you know, the help that's out there. The only thing is you have a bunch of people on fucking in Washington that use it as that big ass fucking thing in bold letters that says, we want to help people with mental health. Well,
yeah,
that's nice during election time, which granted, guess what? We're coming up on that. So a lot of you that made that promise better deliver. And you probably will, because, you know, your time's coming up. But, you know, at the
yeah,
same time, stop using us as a political tool and actually talk to people with mental health issues. I bet you 10 to 1 most of our senators don't even know the first thing about mental health, because you know what? They don't care. They'll hear about it, but to them, it doesn't affect them. And that's
yeah,
society's
exactly.
negative impact on men's mental health and mental health in general.
And one of the other things that, you know, in society that does affect our mental health is masculinity. And I'm not going to say toxic masculinity, because that's a made up fucking phrase and some made up fucking laboratory at some goofy ass college. I'm going to say that, I'm going to call a spade, and it's masculinity.
Ohio State.
No, it wasn't Ohio State. It was one of them big. It was out in California. Go figure.
Oh, okay.
Society often
Love you
pressures.
too, buddy.
Yeah, society often pressures men to conform to a traditional gender roles and whatnot, and be men in a certain way, which can lead to men neglecting or dismissing their vulnerabilities. This can have a negative mental health effect, such as anxiety, depression, and increase. Obviously, we've talked about the unaliving rate, not only just in America, which is just crazy, the number of male suicides and how much they've gone up over the last several years, but worldwide, it's become I mean, it's damn near on the verge of becoming an epidemic of men unaliving themselves. So, we've talked about this before. We're taught as young men, as boys coming up, we're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to be, protect. We're supposed to provide, financially, and put a roof over the head, and have the electricity and the water and everything. Like, we have to provide all that. We also have to protect our household. We have to protect our loved ones, and we're not allowed to be weak. We're not allowed to show any signs of weakness. If you fall down and get hurt, what was one of the key phrases that was always said I remember when I was growing up: if you fall down and you bump your fucking knee, walk it off, rub some dirt
in it. Yep.
Fine.
Quit being a puss.
Yeah. So we have that ingrained in us, and that creates that societal effect that is, that affects our, because the moment I let my guard down and I'm like, look, guys, I've really been going through it this week, man. I work sucks. These are just examples before anybody blows it out of proportion. Work sucks. Nikki and I aren't getting along. We're having problems, and the kids are really wearing down on my nerves, man. I'm starting to lose. I'm starting to lose it. I'm feeling kind of lost and helpless. Well, the moment you do that, there's some asshole in the background, like a fucking lion in the desert, that's ready to pounce on you.
Quit being a bitch.
You're a wounded gazelle at that time, man. You're an easy dinner. You're easy dinner.
Yep.
So you learn, even in your friend circle, or no matter how big or small your circle is, like, I've always got to have my guard up. And then sometimes you're gonna let your guard down, but you're not gonna fully let it down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't need to hear from you right now, number 3.
We couldn't.
Damn it.
What'd she say?
Fuck off, Steven. Wait, how'd you know it was me? It could have been Connor.
Because she had her hearing aids on.
And you know
But
what?
I think that when it comes to masculinity, I think that. So I hate the term toxic masculinity because I agree with Glick. It's just some made up stupid shit. But I think that there is a portion of masculinity that is important and necessary for men to have.
Absolutely.
I think that where we've run into an issue is it's become a problem with, like Glick said, becoming vulnerable and being able to kind of release some of the pent up anger, anxiety, stress, depression, everything that's going on. When you have that and it builds and builds and builds, and you have to keep face, which again, I think there is an importance to having a certain level of that masculinity and have the ability to protect your family, your house, etc., and not just being a weak little bitch. There's a difference between that and being able to be vulnerable to certain people. And I think that what society has done has made it so that if you are vulnerable, even sometimes, and I've heard it from certain friends, is when they're vulnerable, even with their significant others, it's like, why the fuck are you telling me this? I don't want to hear this. You're supposed to be my guardian, et cetera, and you're supposed to do all this for us. Why the fuck are you bitching to me? You're not supposed to be weak. I want to see you be my strong man. If your significant other would say something like that, which God, I hope they don't. But that's kind of what we've done, is not so much that masculinity is a negative thing, but the inability to show vulnerability has become the problem.
Well, yeah.
Well,
As Brian said in the comments, there's definitely some weakness we don't show. That's 100%. We are very guarded in what we show people, to piggyback back off of Connor and both Glick. We don't want to be looked at as weak, but sometimes if people want to see us as weak, piss us off one time and you'll see how unweak we are. And that's not physically. That's just you will be unloaded upon with all the shit we gotta have.
Oh yeah,
because-
drop your load.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Can we just fire this?
I'll
fucker?
leave. I'll leave. I'm sorry.
Yeah, thank you.
You know,
Fucking dick.
you know, the old sayings out there,
I
man.
fucking hate you, Connor.
Yeah,
I hope your fucking $6 million legs are only $6 at Costco.
Yeah.
there's
The ones the
there's-
army gave you sure were.
Yeah, there's that old saying out there. God damn it. There's that old saying out there. You know, I'm only one motherfucker away from an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah.
You know,
That's the
basically,
way I was last week.
the wrong person says the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you're not even angry at them. You know what I mean? Like you're not. It's not even their. It's not even their fault. They just caught you at the wrong time at the wrong place, and you fucking blow a gasket, and you're taking their fucking head off. And
They don't even
you
deserve
know, and a part of that, you know, like we were talking, you know, exactly. I know that, you know, I know when I was younger, there was a lot of people that I went off on, quote unquote, unloaded on, whether physically or verbally, and they weren't even who I was mad at. They just happened to be wrong person, wrong time type deal.
Yep.
But it happens. You know, part of that masculinity, you know, and leads to self-doubt and you start to get inside your own head and everything like that is, you know, we're taught that we have to be providers and whatnot, and we're supposed to take care of the house. Well, especially in today's society, with, you know, even a few years back with the whole COVID thing, and I'm not here to have a COVID debate. I'm just bringing it up as an example. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of men lost their jobs. And that when you're not, quote unquote, providing for your family the way you think you should, that leads to those insecurities, that self-doubt. You start getting inside your own head. You start, you know, those crazy thoughts start creeping in, man. And that you know, that quote unquote darkness isn't too far away, you know, as the song goes, "Hello, darkness, my old friend." You know,
Well,
and that's part of that masculinity trait. Or, you know, God forbid something happens and you get hurt and you can't perform your day-to-day tasks. You know, again, that's part of that quote. And I guess that's part of where it comes in. I guess if you wanted to use the term toxic masculinity, I guess that's a way that you could kind of use that term. Obviously, there's other ways to use that. You know, there's other ways that word is thrown around. You know, you hear a lot of people say, "Oh, you know, men are all toxic. It's all toxic." But then in the same breath, in the same sentence, say, "I want a good, strong man. I want a man that's going to provide. I want a man that's going to," like, well, what do you want?
Yep.
You know, if I give you the things that you want, but then I'm a bad guy for it. So, you know, again, those doubts, that causes those doubts and those insecurities to start creeping up in your fucking head, man. And that's kind of the double-edged sword that is, as we know, masculinity, because either you're too much or you're not enough. There's no happy medium.
right.
That's why whenever you're ever told that I want the sensitive type person, you already know it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and you that's where we run into, and Glick, I'm glad you brought up COVID and people losing their jobs and things like that. That's where you run into those dark places for men, is when you feel like there are these almost like boxes that you have to check off to be a man, or to be successful, or to be a good provider. And if you miss one of those boxes, it completely screws with men's identity and the way that they see themselves, the way that they think others see them. I know I'll be real honest. I got fired from Chase because first of all, I fucking hated that job. So I just stopped showing up to work. And I was very inconsistent. So they let me go. They fired me. And when I got fired, knowing full well it was my own fault, I was immediately broken.
Yeah,
right. Because that there goes, I can't provide for my wife, can't provide for my kids because I had Carson and Bryson at the time, and it was I'm failing as a dad, I'm failing as a husband, I'm failing as a man. This is not who I'm supposed to be. I'm not enough. And when you're in that low spot and you feel like you're failing, if you show that, you're then opening up that vulnerability, and there goes another box that you're checking, and it becomes this deep dark hole, this deep dark spiral that you run into, and it's really, really hard to get out. And society doesn't make that any easier with the like fucking with the Tates of the world.
That Andrew Tate and his idiot brother are the worst representation of the male species and any of their
100%.
Anybody who follows their lame ass fucking logic or anything like that, that is the worst representation of the.
You gotta be an alpha male. You gotta eat fucking crow's blood and all that bullshit. Yeah.
Those are two foul human beings. Forget men; those are two foul human beings.
Yeah. I hate to break it to you, but those people who are usually standing on the mountaintops screaming and telling everybody that they're an alpha male and how alpha male they are, in all actuality, are usually, to use the terminology, are usually typically your biggest betas out there.
Yep.
You're putting on a front, you're putting on a show to prove it, to pretend that you're something that you're not, but at the same time doing everything in your power to prove to people that you are what you say you are.
Yep.
It's like it's the same thing for like these guys who get on the internet and talk about how big and bad and tough they are, and that if they came across you in the streets, they would beat you down and blah 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 blah. And then you come across them in real life and they run and hide behind the cops, or they run and hide behind their girlfriend or their wife, or
bodyguard.
Whatever.
I think it's funny. The hardest people and the scariest people I've ever fucking met were the quietest people.
Don't you ever fucking forget it.
They didn't fucking talk. They weren't super outspoken. They were nice people if you were nice to them. But I've seen people do dark fucking things, and they're so quiet, and nobody would ever fuck with them because they knew better.
Speak softly, carry a big stick.
Yep.
Or if you're Jarvis, speak softly and carry a big dick.
Hey, some of us got to be well endowed, but not well endowed anywhere else.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
Wait, does that make Glick the biggest beta on the show?
Yes.
I'm the champ.
If the shoe fits, I guess wear it. No, I think as far as the Tates go, and anybody like them or anybody that follows them or believes the things that come out of their mouth, that is a terrible reputation of the male race, but also I would say a misinterpretation of the male race, but also, again, part of the reason why we do have the societal effects and the negative impact on men's mental health is because you have guys like that out there in the world as well.
And the crazy thing is there are women who see that and think that that's what their significant other should be.
Well, they're the ones that are brainwashed. I'll fucking say it. To think that a man should not show weakness, or that when I first met my wife, I literally said, I'm looking for a partner. I'm looking for a teammate. I'm not looking for the woman that's gonna max out all my fucking credit cards when it sues them right because I'm fucking stuck at a job all day hating that job. I need someone that's gonna be, you know, if I fucking falter, pick up the slack a little bit. Luckily, I
Mhm.
met the woman I married. And that's the thing. Relationships aren't just about the man or the woman. It's a team. And the sooner people figure that shit out, divorce rates go down, people are actually good to each other. I mean, hell, mental illness will probably even go down too. It's all the way the world, even with fucking TV. You see on TV, you see the guy with all the flashy cars, all the bling and all that shit. And you got the women that are like, oh, I want to be with that person. But then when the fucking cameras are off and they see the true colors of that person, then they all want to say, well, I want a nice guy. I want a stay at home
Yeah,
guy.
get you a fat bearded guy.
You don't have to be lonely at SasquatchOnly.com.
Exactly.
That's where Nikki found her husband at.
That's
Yeah.
fucking good. I like that, Jarvis. That was good.
Fat bearded guys are great. We'll make you laugh. We
Oh
can
my
protect
God.
you.
Jeff,
can
I got the
protect you.
next meme for you, buddy.
We look scary and intimidating, but as Connor so eloquently pointed out, I'm just a big old pussy. And we'll sit around on Sundays and eat 45 pounds of sushi with you and not judge you for it.
Some of you, some men will eat sushi. Other people, you know, eat
Yeah,
real
we'll eat
fish.
tacos or sushi or burgers.
There we go,
or
tacos. There
whatever.
we go.
We're not going
I
to judge
do
you.
enjoy
for it. We'll
some
sit around
good
and watch
sushi.
terrible movies all day and eat all day long, and we won't judge you for it. That's the guy you want, ladies.
God, where was this man? Where was this guy as a motivational speaker my whole time in high school?
Anyways, I do want to take another real quick break here. Try to keep us on track and on some kind of a time frame here. And then we'll be right back. And I just want to, I kind of want to touch on some like other little things that goes along with the effects of society and men's mental health. Some more than obviously negative stuff, but we'll be back. I got a song here from Jules and the Howl. Oh,
God,
it's called I Just Want to Feel Better. I just want to feel better. We'll be back here in just a few minutes.
When my best ain't enough, I wanna rest, but I'm too tough. My body's aching for sleep without disturbing dreams. My mask is showing its cracks, a broken smile intact. I'm good at playing pretend around both strangers and friends. I'm stuck on an endless merry-go-round. A cyclone of racing thoughts that never stop. And I just wanna feel better, but I can't get out of my head. I don't know what I'll do instead. I just wanna feel better. Will it always be this way? Am I doomed? Is this my fate? My depression, it sucks out all the joy of what I love. Ravenous black hole consuming all that I know. I could scream my lungs dry, punch through walls till I cry. Bloody knuckles, red eyes, oh my. I'm stuck on an endless merry-go-round. A cyclone of racing thoughts that never stop. And I just wanna feel better, but I can't get out of my head. I don't know what I'll do
the How with her mental health.
Oh,
I
There
just
we
want to
go.
feel better. Guys, check her out. Go show her some love. She is everywhere on all social media and wherever you stream music. Jules and the How. You seen it right there on the screen when her song was playing. And actually, if you like her music and if you enjoyed the interview I did with her, tune in this Friday night at 8 p.m. Not only will Jules be joining me again, but Marley, Mizzy, and Bree, all from Women Rock LA, will be hanging out Friday night. It's going to be a fun show. Welcome back to Men Caring for Men. I'm your host, Click. We got Connor in the building and we got Jaravishi in the building. We're talking
Hey, yo.
yeah, we're talking society's negative impact on men's mental health. And, you know, we talked a little bit about the stigma that's there. We talked a little bit about, you know, masculinity and how it plays a part and negatively affects our mental health and the way we think and the way we handle things and whatnot like that. I did just want to talk about a couple more little things before we get out of here tonight. The downside, and I think this is something that we've touched on before, and I think you guys can agree with me, and I'll kind of get your opinions here in a second, but the downside of men's mental health, a lot of times, actually 9 times out of 10, I feel like men try to self-treat. I know I'm guilty of it. I don't know if you guys are as well, and that means the unfortunate downside of self-treatment is typically it's unhealthy behaviors, whether it turns into substance abuse, whether it be alcohol or drugs related, or some people spiral out of control with gambling, or there's violent outbreaks. You know, we tend to be a little bit more violent rather than addressing the issues that are bothering us and seeking help because we don't want to be looked down upon, or we don't want to appear vulnerable, or and I can say for me, I don't want it to seem like I'm just looking for attention, because the last thing I want when I'm going through shit is more fucking attention. You know, when you're really going through it, the last thing you want, I think you guys can agree with me, the last thing you want when you're really going through a hard time is more attention from people that, you know, obviously you're going to reach out to your close friends. You know, we have our inner circle where, yeah, we all kind of talk, and, you know, sometimes we, in that process of talking to each other, we bust each other's balls, but we do it in a not mean way, not in a negative way, but we're also always there for each other when we need it. That's not the kind of attention I'm talking about. I don't want to post a fucking sad, sappy video on TikTok and have thousands of people that I don't fucking know go, oh, hey, buddy, it'll be all right. Keep your chin up. You know, we all go through it. You'll be fine. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. And drop all them stupid ass fucking cliche one-liners. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm, you know, I don't need your bullshit right now. But
There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's just you have to go through the tunnel to find that light.
That tunnel happens to be the end of a 12-gauge shock. And that light is at sudden burst. I'm kidding. But nonetheless, you know, obviously, you know, I in my younger days, I was very self-destructive. I didn't know how to ask for help. I didn't know where to go for help. I was very self-destructive. I was drinking a lot. We talked about that. You know, I was a raging alcoholic. I was also a very violent person, because in my head, in my crazy messed up head, I'm going to feel better for a few days if I drink a bottle of Jack Daniels and a 12-pack of Budweiser and I punch some guy in the face repeatedly.
Hey, you don't know.
It.
That guy could have deserved it. I mean,
You know, yeah. But that's where my headspace was. I mean, I'm sure I could ask you guys, like Jarvis, you know, has there been, and you don't obviously, I'm not forcing anybody to say anything they don't want to say.
oh God, no, don't twist my arm anymore, Glick.
Have you, when you were younger or even recently, you know, have you found yourself kind of doing that self-treatment? You know, like,
Oh, definitely. I mean, you know, God, if there wasn't a time where it's just like, ooh, my brother's doing drugs. They seem to be helping him out. But, you know, the other side of the coin was when he would get in big trouble with the law, you know, and Keith, if you're listening, I'm not shitting on you. I'm just using you as an example. There's many times where I wanted to do that. You know, there's many times where, like my dad and my brother, you know, escape into the alcohol, you know, be the life of the party. And, you know, I was very grateful that I had, you know, and I don't say this to be an asshole, but I'm very grateful that I was able to kind of see what was going on with my dad and my brother when they were self-destructing.
Yeah.
And I was very grateful that even though my dad or my brother would be in that addiction, that voice inside their head would always get through and say, you know what, sorry. And there's so many people that are like, oh, they're just saying that to make you feel bad for them. And to me, it was more than that. It was more of that cry for help that's like, hey, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to get out of the addiction. But at the same time, I do need that help. And thank God, my dad, my brother have been sober for 3 or 4 years now.
Nice.
You know, they're still fighting that good fight. And the light is at the end of the tunnel. It's just you gotta go through a lot of bullshit, and there's so much help for us out there with, you know, you just gotta, as you know, Glick has asked me before, he's like, you go to a psychiatrist and a therapist, does it really work? And I say, it's all on how you take it. There are ones out there that will sit there with the pen and paper and say, and how does that make you feel? Been through that many fucking times. And I can tell Glick, as soon as I said that, you know, like, I want to rip my hair out when I fucking just hear that. And how does that make you feel?
And
You want to know how it makes me feel? It makes me feel like I want to just go through the raging bull fucking syndrome where I see all these bulls coming at me and I just want to put my head down so one of them gores me.
No, and you know, for me, that's all I've ever wanted. I just want somebody to talk to that's not going to judge me, which, you know, like I said, is usually good for a few sessions, and then they pull out their fucking RX pad and they're like, all right, well, it's like, all right, now I'm out. Now I'm out. Now I'm good. Now, what about you, Connor? Have you found yourself, you know, in self treatment mode, so to say?
Yeah, I mean,
Negative in a negative light, not necessarily
positive.
No. I'm with it. Yeah, I mean, and I run into the issue now. Even I mean, it's the problem that with self. Honestly, I don't know what else to call it other than self-medicating. Whether it's alcohol, or actual pills, or if it's weed, whatever it is, I've had a rough couple of years, and I try my best to avoid becoming that animal, because I'm sure it wouldn't be a good one for myself, my family, or anybody around me. But it's tough, and yeah, I've definitely caught myself, and I've definitely done it more than a handful of times where I'm just like, you know what, I'm fucking sick of today. I'm in pain, so I'm gonna go take a pill, and then I'm gonna go get wasted, or I'm gonna smoke so much pot that I can't fucking see straight. I'm gonna take a couple of pills. I'm gonna wait an hour, then I'm gonna take a couple more. I'm gonna wait an hour, and I'm gonna take a couple more, just so that I don't OD myself, but just so that I can have that escape. And no, it's a negative thing. It is definitely a negative thing, but it's so much easier to self-medicate than it is to actually reach out sometimes. And it goes along with that toxic masculinity. I think Glick and I can kind of relate on that matter when it comes to drinking. And for me, it's somewhere between drinking pills and pot. And I try to not, but sometimes it's just so much to deal with and to think about and to accept. And sometimes when you're drunk or you're high or stoned, whatever you want to say, you get to escape, and you get to stop thinking about the shitty things and feel a little bit better for a little bit. Granted, you wake up the next morning and you want to blow your fucking brains out, but you know, it's in this case.
Hangovers, hell.
Wait,
Yeah.
you mean to tell me you didn't do that the night before when you were drinking yourself to a fucking stupor?
Yeah, no, well, that's why you drink yourself into a stupor, is so that you forget that you even have a gun.
You forget who you are and where you are. I've been there.
Well, that's every
Wait.
day.
Wait,
I've
why'd
been
I piss myself?
there. Yeah, hey man.
Which one of you cowards shit in my pants?
I've been there. I've been there many nights, man. I wake up. You know, there's been more than a few occasions where I woke up in the bed of my truck, and it's like, the hell am I at, and how the hell did I get here? You know, I'm out in the middle of a field somewhere, and then I called my buddy, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I came and picked you up, and you said to park the truck here." Because even in my worst days, one thing that I was always conscious of is that I never got behind the wheel when I was that messed up.
Yeah.
And, you know, my buddy would be like, "Hey, yeah, you called me and said you needed to get away," and it was usually one of my friends' fields or, you know, the barn or a shop, or just so I could get away from everybody because I didn't want anybody around, and they would come and get me, and then I'd wake up in the back of my truck the next afternoon and be like, "Oh, fucking, what the hell?" Here. Yeah, you know, a bottle of ibuprofen and a couple of Gatorade beside me in the bed of the truck, and it was like, hey, my buddies were looking out for me, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've drank myself into those fucking stupors just because I was in such a bad way. Or there's been a few nights where I just wandered off, just walked off,
Done
and
that.
you know, woke up the next day on a swing. You're like, oh, where the hell am I at?
Nice playground.
No, officer, I swear I'm not here for any illegal shit. I just passed out.
Look, I don't even know how I got here. You don't know how I got here. I don't know how I got here. We're on the same
I
page,
promise
right?
I'm not a tweaker. I was just really drunk last night.
You
Let's
don't want
just
me
go our
here.
separate ways, police officer.
You don't want me here. I don't want to be here. Look, see, we're on the same page, officer.
Yeah.
Let's.
No, put down the taser. Put down the taser, sir.
No, I think one of the other things that I am the absolute king of doing is putting on a fake smile. It's so much easier just to, everything's fine, everything's cool, you know, when I'm around people. Just put on that fake smile and go about my business, and you know, that's clearly that's an unhealthy way of dealing with things. Not only that, but I have been told by numerous people for several years that there's times that I'm like a robot. I can flip a switch off. I'll flip a switch off in my head, and just I'm motionless. You know, I'm just here. Those are two of my. I guess you can kind of call them a defense mechanism, because in being older, you know, older than you guys, and with the
Jesus,
different generations, you know, that's something that I struggle with still to this day. You know, even doing this show and stuff. You know, we didn't show emotions. You weren't allowed to show emotions. You know.
Yeah.
So, okay, let me flip the switch. Now I'm an emotionless robot, and I'll just go about my routine and go about my day and go about my business. But you're gonna get this version of me. You know, oh, hey, happy birthday. Oh man, your dad died. Sorry to hear. Oh, hey, I don't know. It's one of those defense mechanisms that I think a lot of guys do.
100%.
I've been doing it most of my life. I'll put on a fake smile, or I'll just kill the switch.
Yeah, I run into that issue often. Usually when I start to get overwhelmed, or I start to get upset, mad, depressed, my brain runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
And I try and, like you said, you know, put that face on, you know, try and be smiley and happy. But the problem is, when my brain runs at 1,000,000 miles an hour, it feels like everything's running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I get really, really irritable, and I snap really, really fast. And my wife does a good job of checking me on it. But The only problem with that is often when she checks me on it, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm being an asshole. Turn everything off.
Yeah.
And so I become quiet. I become closed off. You get robot me. I'll sit there. I put the kids to bed. Dad, can I get a song? Fuck no, I'm not singing to you. So I love you. Good night. I love you.
Yeah.
I become cold and just not that I don't have those feelings. They're just turned off.
Yeah, exactly.
That part of my brain, that part of my heart, not working right now.
It's like that Smokey Robinson song, Trail of My Tears. People say I'm the life of the party because I tell a joke or two,
Mhm.
you know, but deep down inside, you know, deep inside I'm blue, you know, and
It's interesting that
One
you
more
say that,
modern-
Jerry Ritchie.
For a more modern song, think of Eminem's "Beautiful."
why is that interesting that I say that, Connor?
I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that you say that because we're talking about the societal norm of men and how it negatively affects men and their mental health. If you look back at the songs throughout the years, you hear that struggle.
Mhm. A lot.
Especially like you look at the 60s and on,
Well,
and you listen to songs by men, rock stars, et cetera, et cetera. You hear their emotions truly come out in their songs, and then they get off stage and they have to talk to people, and then boom, face.
Mhm.
Everything's back to I'm hard. I'm this thing that you see. I am what you should be as a person, as a man. They go back to being what the societal norm is. But in their songs, you listen to them, you hear the lyrics, you hear the words, you hear the pain that they're actually in. And that's what men have been dealing with since this started, since the earth began, is the struggle between vulnerability and masculinity.
well, even Lionel Richie once said it, easy like Sunday morning, you know. I'll be leaving you tomorrow. I just can't handle the pain anymore.
Yeah.
You know, people want me to be what they want me to be.
Exactly.
It's like, you know, a lot of those musicians, and that's the biggest lost art with some music today,
Mhm.
is that the emotion. Yeah, you can get Taylor Swift to sing about fucking getting dumped by fucking Travis Kelce or whatever. It's not the same emotion. You know, you can
One
only
of-
hear
yeah.
I got ran over by a 700-pound
Reindeer.
football player 500 times before you know that, hey, Taylor, and I know there's Swifties probably listening, but you know, eventually at the end of the day, you may be the problem. Just saying.
No shit. Yeah.
Who wrote the song?
One of my favorite songs by the Foo Fighters is DOA. And the very beginning of that song is, we did it, it's over, and I feel fine. Nothing you can say is going to change my mind. And it's that we did it, I'm angry about it, but I feel fine.
Well, or Everlong even,
Yeah.
you know.
But I thought that you brought up a good point with, I think about music, and I think about all the history of music shows the history of that pain, of that struggle. I thought
You know,
that was
if I can make a suggestion for next Monday's show, why don't
No.
we talk about music and its role in helping people get through their mental health problems?
Jervis, you with two
Not
good
bad.
topics in a row. Ba-boom!
What can I say?
I have.
I'm better than just
I have
eye
a-
candy here, buddy.
I have a topic, and Jarvis keeps trumping me, but don't worry about it. But I just want to touch on a couple things here real quick. Not so much for not obviously other people can notice this, but some of the things, and we've talked about this before. You know, some of the changes that you might need some outside assistance. You might need to make that quote unquote cry for help, and it's something for us to be mindful of ourselves. Not necessarily, we can't put it on everybody else to be like, oh
Yeah.
man, Connor's
You need
really
help.
going through it. I notice this, but we have to be mindful as well. You know, obviously the changes in moods, we've talked about that. difference in work performance. You know, your work's gonna when you start to spiral, your work's gonna start to be affected. Weight changes. You might start fluctuating, going up and down in weight when you're dealing with things or going through things. Obviously, we know the signs of depression, sadness, hopelessness, and whatnot. And then there's other physical symptoms too. You might start noticing more frequent headaches, maybe different types of headaches. You know, they say that, like, I get a lot of headaches in the back of my neck. It's a stress headache. It goes down into my shoulders. Some people get them in the front of their eyes, whatever, or even stomach issues. You know, there's things that we need to be mindful of. Going, okay, something's not right, because at this point I've already flipped the fucking switch and I don't care. I'm going robot. But you might notice, man, my stomach's been real fucked up lately, or why am I losing so much weight? I'm not even doing anything. Or why am I so angry? Why am I so irritable? Stuff like that. But remember, it's not always doom and gloom, guys. There is positivity here, because there are people out there that are true and are sincere, and they want to be the voice for the quote unquote voiceless. We want to, I say we because I feel like in some very small part, we are trying to be that voice. We want to help erase that stigma. We want to reverse, and we have that opportunity with the next generation of men that we are raising to start to reverse that masculine trait. Yeah, we can teach our sons to still be masculine, but also it's all right to have a little side of vulnerability. You know, you're not weak because you've had a rough week and you're feeling just drained, or mentally you're just checked out. That doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you,
because you're crying like a bitch.
Yeah, it doesn't make you wrong. You're human. Congratulations. You're human, and you get to realize that, where we were basically taught not to be human. We were taught to hide our one of the key components of our human side, and that's emotions. You know, as men, unfortunately, that's what we are taught. But we get to have that voice of this new generation coming up, and there's already a generation out there where they're already showing their emotions, showing their feelings, and they're not afraid to, which is amazing. You know, we're already starting to see the pivotal swing. So there is
Thanks for
positive.
piggybacking off of us fuckers.
There is positive. Also, remember, do things. You know, there's things that, and this is going to come down the road. One of the topics I want to cover. There are things that we can do to get out of our slump. Exercise, go to the gym, go for a walk, go fishing, find something that you enjoy, podcasting, video games, find something you enjoy. And when you start to going and clearing out 2,000 rounds of ammo, on a weekend,
hey,
something that you enjoy, you don't
trigger
have to
therapy.
your feelings. You don't have to,
Sure it is.
woe is me, everybody feels sorry for me right now. But you're doing something that you find something that you enjoy and do it. It's not always easy. I get it. I understand. What up, motherfucker? But there is positive. It doesn't always have to be doom and gloom when we talk about mental health.
100%.
Unfortunately, we got to get through the doom and gloom so we can talk about the good side of it, the positive side, and the things that we can do so we're not stuck in a rut and we're not stuck inside our head just beating ourselves up. Like I said, I enjoy going to the gym. I know I don't look like it, but I like going to the gym because it's the one place where I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to think about anything. I put my music in. I might be fucking jamming out to Taylor Swift. You don't know, but I'm in my happy place.
Oh my god.
I'm a closet. I guess I just came out of the Taylor Swift closet. I'm no longer a closeted Swiftie.
Go to your next cult meeting, fucker.
Sometimes you have to watch out for yourself and be willing to say, I have a problem, or this issue has gotten out of hand. I can no longer take it by myself. I do need help. In the military, we often joked about the quote unquote grippy socks vacation. I'm one bad day away from a grippy socks vacation, or or one long day away from one. And we're a Grippy Socks vacation with a padded room. And we joke about it, but I've seen those, ironically, I've seen those Grippy Socks vacations be positive for people. Not every time that you ask for help are you actually going to be sent on down craziness road in the hospital. But if that's the route that you need, don't be afraid to ask for it. It might hurt, and it takes swallowing a lot of pride to do it, but sometimes you need to go there. Sometimes you need to have that one-on-one with someone who understands, with someone who will listen, like Glick said, that those therapists that'll actually sit there and let you talk and be just a good ear to hear. And sometimes that's what you need, and you need to not be embarrassed about it. You need to not think twice about it. You need to ask for help when it's time, because if you continue not asking for help and you need it, it never ends well.
Help won't be there.
It never, ever ends well. Or you close yourself off from other people, and then they don't even want to be there to help you anymore.
Yep.
But I digress.
Exactly. What about you, Jeremy? You got anything to add?
Well, all I can say is that's all I got to say about that. No.
Fantastic. He's a man of few words, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we keep him around.
That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah.
I may not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
I think Jiravishi's having a bad day. Why? I started running.
Anytime you hear me utter those words, I start running. Get help.
Yeah.
No, I.
Run, Jarvis, run!
Nowadays, it's more walk, Jarvis, walk. But no, honestly, you guys both said, shut up, Connor. You guys said a great fucking thing. You know, we can no longer sit idly aside and just say, you know, hey, even though we're fucked up today, tomorrow's gonna be a great day. Because some days, tomorrow never comes. And like John Fogerty of CCR once said, some days never come. So, you know, that is the Jaravishi truth, and don't you forget it.
That is the Jaravishi truth.
Also, fuck you, Swifties.
Glick, I feel like it's.
I
feel
I
a
do wanna
song
say-
coming on.
I feel like it's closing time, boys. Turn out the light.
I do want to say this is going to be
Party's
kind of a sneak peek into one of the topics I want to cover. Sometimes at the end of the day, man, you just gotta let go. You gotta let go, and you gotta move on, man. At the end of the day, you cannot. And that's the other thing us men do. And again, like I said, a little sneak peek of a topic I want to talk about. Sometimes us men, we hold on to too much of the past, and the past has a fun way of just creeping up and just overwhelming us. And
Biting your dick off.
We have to learn to walk away from it, move on, and just let go. And that's about all I'll say on that. Before I divulge too much and I go into a whole full nother fucking episode of a show.
Wow. That's like a fourth
not
wall
do that.
break between a fourth wall break. That's
Right?
like 60 walls.
I'm breaking all the walls down like Chris Jericho. Break the walls down.
And the walls came
Come
crumbling
tumbling
down.
What was it Reagan said? Gorbachev?
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that wall.
Now Biden's
Yes.
saying build that
We have,
wall.
as men, we have to learn to let our walls down, tear them down, and set yourself free.
Or as Glick once found out by Billy Joel, he didn't start the
Fuck Billy
fire.
Joel. All right, so
Fuck you.
fuck you and Billy Joel.
Fuck you and your dumb, shitty ass music show. I'm just kidding. It's a good
Oh
show.
shit. Oh shit, we're getting personal now.
Fuck you in your whole life.
Fair.
But
Fuck
anyway,
you and your able-bodied ass. Look at me. I got 2 legs and both of them work just fine.
It ain't the 2 legs that work just
fuck
fine.
you and
Connor,
your
let
no
me be
leg having ass getting the good parking spots.
Look at me. I get to walk all the way from the backside of the parking lot because I
I
don't
could
have a
just see
handicap tag.
fucking Connor and fucking Glick fighting for the one net parking spot, and Glick fucking pulls
Honestly-
up to the handicap spot. Connor's like, "Fuck you," and then fucking Glick just puts the fucking handicap sign on it.
Honestly, the worst thing is when you find one of those little electric scooter things and it's low on battery and you're like ready to go and you're trying to catch up with the family. And
Anywho, anywho, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show tonight. You know, we can be a little serious from time to time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Maybe got a little bit out of it, a little something out of it. I don't know why Jarvis was dropped out.
I don't know. Maybe he laughed a little too hard at that.
We do enjoy doing this show here. It's a little bit different. Yeah, it's a little bit different side of us than you normally used to seeing over here at the network. But nonetheless, if you're not already, speaking of the network, go ahead and give us a follow. We are everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. We also do shows pretty much all week long right now. We are a show down, but we have 2 more in the works, and we're going to do some shuffling of the deck. But we got new stuff coming. But we do shows pretty much all week long. You can find us, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok. Hang out with us live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. We do the shows live. We love the interaction from the chatters box. And if you can't join us live, you can listen anytime, any place, wherever you listen to podcasts at, all at the Nonsensical Network. So give us a follow, give us a listen, and if you'd be so kind, give us a share. We greatly appreciate that. And as I said, we do have shows, and I'll go ahead and rattle those off real quick, too. Monday nights is us, myself, Glick, Connor, and Jarvis with Men Caring for Men, Men's Mental Health Podcast. Tuesday nights is Benji, Jeff, and sometimes Blaze. They're doing Jeff's Garage. If it's got an engine and it fits in the garage, they're going to talk about it. Connor.
There's Connor pretending to drive.
Wednesday nights is myself, Connor, Jeff, and for the time being, Jaravishi. With What the Fuck News. If it's in the news and it makes us say what the fuck, it's probably going to make you say what the fuck. So we're going to talk about it and have fun. Thursday nights is vacant. There's nothing going on Thursdays.
There's nothing.
They're no longer with us. R.I.P.
There's no Thursday.
We've erased Thursday from the week.
Fuck you, Thursday. Fuck it. Thursdays are for
All right.
birds.
R.I.P. Talking shit. Rest in power. Our friends. Gone but not forgotten. We love you guys. Friday nights, for the time being, is Glick's House of Music. I'm hanging out with musicians.
It's a shitty show. Don't watch it.
I don't watch it.
Sorry, I said the quiet part out loud.
And I'm introducing you to their music. If you guys haven't heard of them before, tune in this Friday. I got a kick-ass show coming up, and I'll get more into that as we go down through the week. Saturday nights is Nonsensical Nonsense. It is the foundation of the network. Unhinged.
It's the greatest show on earth.
Unhinged, unapologetic, comedy-based, a.k.a. the greatest show on earth, as Connor said, with a twist. We drop the link in the chatters box. We call it the Open Door Challenge. Whether you love us, you hate us, or it's your first time finding us, we dare you to hit that link and come right on up and hang out with us and be a part of the show. All we ask is that you turn the camera on and put your penis away because nobody wants to see it.
Yeah.
And then
You
Sunday
can come
night-
on the show, just don't show us.
Yeah. And Sunday nights, it's vacant for right now as well. But as I said,
That's 5 shows.
we're shuffling the deck. We're adding some new stuff. We're rearranging things. So don't worry. There's
We're
still
fucking
plenty,
your mom.
there's still plenty of stuff here for you guys to watch. Give us a follow. Give us a listen. And if you'd be so kind, give us a share. That is that. I'm going to play. You know what? I'm going to do Shine Down, Save Me. I feel like that's good for the topic tonight. You know, sometimes you just got to reach out and ask for help. Sometimes
Reach out and touch somebody.
Well, you might end up on a list.
Touch me.
You might end up on the same list Jeff is on if you do that.
No, you got to break an arm to get on that list.
Yeah,
He
well,
didn't break an arm. He gently massaged the person's arm out of place.
Leave Juan Wick out of this. Don't
Yeah.
speak his name.
Oh, Juan Wick. Hello, my name is Juan Wick.
And also
What's the
cancel
Mexican-
fucking Connor.
What's the Mexican boogeyman? Because I know that they call John Wick the Baba Yaga. What do
Juan
they call
Wick.
a boogie? Yeah, what do they call the boogie? There's a word for boogeyman in Spanish.
El
El
Boogeyman.
Jefe.
El
boogeyman.
hombre de boogie.
El boogeyman.
El
Anyway.
Nino.
No, there is a word in Spanish.
El Nino is short for the Nino.
Yeah, there's a word in Spanish for boogeyman, and I can't remember it. It is pretty popular.
El Chupacabra.
That's Jeff the Ghost Sucker again. Jeff Ghost Sucker. Anywho, like I said, it goes part of what we're talking about tonight, man. Sometimes you feel like you're drowning, you're overwhelmed, you're getting buried. You just gotta ask for help, and I think this is a really good song that kind of talks about needing help and needing somebody to save you. It's Shinedown's "Save Me."
Well, I got a candle and I've got a spoon. I live in a hallway with no
A little, yes, sir. A little shine down will save me. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for hanging out. We'll see you next Monday with a brand new episode of Men Caring for Men. Before we leave, as always, Jaravishi, do you have any closing thoughts or quotes?
Yes, I do. Positive vibes only isn't a thing. Humans have a wide range of emotions, and that's okay.
Fair enough.
Nice. I like it. Well, I always have something good to say. Ladies, this one's for you. If your man seems to be struggling like he's having a hard day, just remember an easy way to pick his spirits up is with snuggles and blowjobs. You're welcome.
Hawk 2, spit on that thing.
It's funny but true.
Just when I thought I could escape it, it brings me back in.
See you later, Chris. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Well, as always, I like to talk. I like to hear myself. So I got a couple different things here for you guys. Men's mental health is more important than their ego, toxic masculinity, their pride, others' judgments, looking tough, and, as we were talking tonight, society's expectations. Also, men, it's okay to go to therapy, speak about their mental health issues, cry your heart out, feel anxious and or overwhelmed, have body image issues, have trauma, bad days sometimes, ask for help when things seem dark, to openly express their emotions and to feel vulnerable. Those are all things that it's okay for men to have. And lastly, as I say every Monday night, a successful man is one who can lay a firm foundation by the bricks that were thrown at him by others. We keep them bricks coming, and we're going to keep building.
And throw them at
Appreciate
Connor.
y'all listening. Appreciate y'all
Thanks
hanging out.
for tuning in.
Thank you guys to the chatters box, those that were watching us live. Thank you to the replay viewers, and thank you to the broadcast listeners over on the podcast platforms. Appreciate y'all. Whether you're lurking or you're chatting, we love you guys for watching us. We'll see you next time.
Hit the button.
Button is hitted.